Good afternoon, crafters, and welcome to P2PCrafts Presents, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows. I'm your host, Michelle Brown, Creative Director from Picture to Page, which is our scrapbooking, mixed media art and papercraft show. Now, P2PCrafts presents our talented retailers along with some guest artists in a whole heap of sessions, and Season 1 is almost finished. So if you've missed any of the sessions we've had so far, or you want to catch up with what's going on, head over to our website, FromPictureToPageAndBeyond.com.au, where you can see all the details, all the links to what our guests have spoken about, and have an idea of what's coming up as well. And while you're there, make sure that you're on our email address so you can get a summary at the end of the week with all of the links. So if you've missed any of the sessions, you can catch up on them. Now, whether you're watching live or on a replay through Facebook, YouTube, or on our website, we would love to hear from you. So make sure you pop in the comments and give us a hi. If you have any questions throughout the session, just let us know, and myself or Jen will do our very best to answer them. And we will make sure that we, of course, share the crafty love with your friends as well. So today, P2PCrafts presents Jen from Hillbilly. Hello, Jen. It is good
We've
to
got a
have
sound
you.
issue.
You can't hear me again.
Someone tried to ring me, and so I declined. So now we've lost our sound again.
Oh no, can you hear me?
That's the problem. I can't hear you.
You can't
Do you
hear
want
me.
Are we able to ring back and try and get a different connection? I know that's going to upset people, but
We can. If everyone just wants to hold on for a moment, we will do just that. Okay, we think we've got another line. Can you hear us now, Jen?
I can just hear. I have to be
Very careful. Okay, so why don't you just tell us a little bit about Hillbilly Scrapping?
So you can hear me really well. Is that correct?
Yep, we can hear you
Oh,
fine.
very good. All right. So Hillbilly Scrappin's been going for about 12 years. Started 12 years ago. I was working full-time for a local government then, and so it was just a bit of a hobby. And as I became more passionate about it, I became less passionate about my work with council. And eventually it just took over my life. I left council and we continued on and grew Hillbilly through retreats and the craft shows. My shop, I always had my shop. It was in the back of my car. Was at a school art room. Was our garage. And then I finally ended up building a house to have my shop as in the house as well, so I could have it at home. So
Wow, that must be like everybody's dream.
sorry.
Excellent. So what are you going to show us today?
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Prima Art Alchemy Opal Magic paints. So I've got some lovely projects that I've been working on. Some are not quite finished, and just show what those paints do.
Okay, well, you get ready and we'll see you soon. Okay, so while Jen gets set up, hopefully our sound quality will improve. We're relying so much on the internet at the moment, and we're getting calls coming in and squishing things out to you in Facebook and YouTube land, so it is a real huge burden and putting our internet to the test. So Jen will have her phone ready soon, and then she's going to show us some of the Finnabar paints as well. So while you're there, make sure you say hi in the comments. I can see we've got Val, we've got Beryl, we've got Rossi. Good to you to join us. We've got Lorraine, Ruth, Mary, and Margaret, and we really are so excited to have you all here. And of course, we've got Diana as well, our faithful Facebook follower, and Rossi. So fantastic that you can join us, and we're really looking forward to seeing what Jen can show us as soon as she got her phone connected. So this has been a real challenge with part of our P2PCrafts Presents, is to get the technology to work, because we are a long way away and a long way apart. Hi Faye, good that you can join us, because yep, yes, we can hear you.
And because I can't hear you, you're going to have to, and I cannot see you now. So can you see my page?
Yes, we can. I'll hand you over the screen and you can take it away. Okay,
right.
There you go, Jen.
Okay, so welcome everybody to my little scrap shopping, my shop and my little studio here. I'm bringing to you today, now it's very weird for me because I'm looking at nobody and I can't hear Michelle, so if Michelle does ask me a question, I really can't hear, so I'm going blind. But anyway, we'll keep going. We're talking about alchemy, the alchemy paints, Art Alchemy Opal Magic paints. Now, these are a beautiful, they're called opal magics because they are beautiful opal colours. And as you can see by the jars, beautiful pastel colours. As we get onto them, I'll be able to show you what they do. All right. Once they're out, they have a beautiful mother of pearl look, I guess is the best way to see them. And so what I've done is I've actually done the colour chart, but I'm going to flip it around. I better not get myself confused here. So I'm going to flip them around, and I'm going to show you what some of the colours. I won't go all, but I'm going to show you some of the colours that they go. So I'm just going to find green gold for you. I did have them all out nice and organised before we started. And it doesn't take much. This is the green gold. So this is the one at the top. So when we paint with these paints, you're actually getting 2 paints in one jar, which is a bonus. So when we paint it, and so it changes colour depending on the colour of the medium that we're working on. So I'm working on white cardboard here today. And so if we paint, as you see, we paint on the green. I've got to get used to keep talking. Painting on the white cardboard, you will see that it's green. I hope you can see that. All right, so but when I go onto the black, you're going to get this beautiful gold effect. So that's what happens when we paint these beautiful colours. So I'm going to do another one for you so you can see. So as you can see, the turquoise rose, which I think is this one? This turquoise rose one. It'll come out this beautiful turquoise rose on the black, and this beautiful the turquoise on the black, and the pink, the rose will be on the white. So if you see here, I'm painting on the white side, and we get this beautiful pink. I don't know if you can see that. Michelle, can you see that?
If you could just move it slightly closer to you.
All right, so I'll just come up. I can only just hear you, but so if I can bring that up to the camera, can you see that?
Yep, and just move it closer to you. That's it.
Yeah, so you get that beautiful pink on the one side, and then you've got that beautiful turquoise. So as you can see, we go down with all the different colours here. You get the darker shade over here, and we get the pale pearly colours on this side. So I've been working on, now, a lot of these products, people feel that they are just a product that you would use on your mixed media. So when I say mixed media, when I'm talking about mixed media, I'm talking about these types of things. People think, oh, you know, I'm not into that. I'm into scrapbooking. You know, I don't. So I'm here today to show you how you can use these paints on your scrapbook. So that's what we are going to do today. And so I'll just put that over there. Now I'm just going to take this quickly out of the packet. I should have done, otherwise you'll get some glare from the light. So you can see this. So just using the green gold, I painted this beautiful chipboard frame. Can you see that, Michelle?
Yes, we can. It's lovely.
Yep. So that was painted with black gesso, and then we went over with the green gold. So was that the green gold? So with the green gold, we got this beautiful patina look, just roughly going over. So that's how you can change, you know, one way of changing, using it on your scrapbooking pages. Now, this beautiful piece of chipboard too, I have to put a plug in for my old mate, Mel, who I hope is watching.
Yes, Mel's watching us today.
So Mel does a lot of my chipboard, and she does the most beautiful steampunk. She does lots of beautiful work, but I love her steampunk chipboard. So that's where that came from. But you can use these paints on any of your chipboard, any mediums. You can use them on plastic, glass. If you're using plastic and glass, you need to use a gesso, so white or black gesso. Seal your surface first before you start using them. Now I've got this upside down. So now this is a project that I started, and I've got one that's ready to put together to show you. But this is how you can, now if I've got that in the right spot, Michelle.
Yes, it's a bit closer to you.
Use these paints on your scrapbooking stash. Now, these are all things that I had in my stash. I had some leaves, some odd flowers. I use what we call moulds. I use moulds and I mould my own flowers and things, so I've got some of those in there. And it's all just been painted with black gesso, and we have gone over that. So I'm going to give you a bit of a demo of how I do all that. But this is not stuck down. But this is a way that you can actually bring a bit of mixed media into your scrapbooking. Right, now this one here, yes, it's a bit chunky, and I'm going to show you later how you can actually flatten it out a little bit so you don't have it. I would put this one in a frame for the wall, not necessarily in my scrapbooking, but I'm going to show you how you'll be able to do that, is do it flatter so you can have it into your books. So that is that there. So is anyone asking? And hi to everybody that's watching me. Mm-hmm. You'll know that I'm very, very nervous. Now, I've prepared all this beforehand. Mm-hmm. So all I've done is got all the pieces that I wanted to use that I used in that. Oops, I'm missing a piece somewhere. Just excuse me. I prepared all this beforehand for you guys so that you could see. And I wanted to show you how to build up, how I built this particular frame, because you would not put this on your page to start with. You would build this up separate, paint it all separate, even before you put the backing on. I've got the backing on that. But you would build this all up before you would start. So this, imagine, is all just raw, either white, plain chipboard, and I've prepared it with the gesso to speed up the time. And I've got my trusty glue over here. Now I'm just using the 450. You could use a glue gun for this. You could, any glue that you like to use. I use 450 because it's quick and easy. People don't like it because it's a bit stringy, but I find it works pretty fast for me for what I want to do. Now I'm just layering this all up here and getting all this prepared to go on. And I'm not very fussy with it. All right, now if you could just go, if you wanted to go flat, you could just go with that. If you wanted to just and not have all the other stuff, you could just flatten it out and not have as much. To add a bit more, now last night I prepared this, the one I did for you, I did last night as well. It was a bit more wet when I did it, so it wasn't, but this one is dried. So what I'm going to, which is great because this is just a bit of, I've lost the word. Help me out, Michelle.
Muslin?
A little bit of gauze.
Yeah, gauze.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I just used a bit of gauze. By the time I went over it with the gesso, it's made it really so I can actually bend it and do whatever I want with it, which is really good. I just don't like these heavy bits, so I'll trim those.
Yeah.
But
Jen, can you hear me at all? Could you just move the demonstration a bit closer to you, please?
And then attach this all together. So I'm just going to fold this over and put it somewhere where I think I might get rid of some of these chunky ends. I'm trying to remember to work over the camera. So, Michelle, if I stray off, just try and yell out to me as loud as you can.
Okay.
We had the sound perfect just before we came on, and then someone tried to ring and mucked it all up. So if they ring back, I'll be telling them they chose the wrong time to ring me. So I'm just going to apply some glue on there, and I'm going to, and I just wing this. Everything I do, I wing it. I don't have much of a plan. I just start. All right, so I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to add a bit more glue. As I said, you could use a glue gun for this. Use this. Michelle has told me we've only got 20 minutes to half an hour, which is good because I've got a few different hats on today. So I need to be somewhere else. So, Michelle, I'm counting on you to tell me that it's, if I waffle on too much, that I need to speed up. I don't think I will. Right, so I'm just going to just let that dry a little bit. So that's all I did, and I've got that. That's all going to stick by the time we do the next little bit of something else that I've got ready, that will have dried, and I'll be able to show you how I got those colours. Oh, I didn't do my leaves. Well, I'm sorry we haven't got leaves. We'll just have to go with that little bit. Sorry about that, guys. So while that's drying, so I'll just put that to one side and let that dry for a little bit. Michelle, I'm just going to duck 2 seconds to grab a leaf. There'll be 2 seconds.
Okay, well, while Jen goes and grabs those, I will keep an eye out for her and know when she is ready, although I think I've lost her as well. Oh, here she is.
See that leaf?
Yes,
Michelle?
we can. Can you just hold it a bit closer to you?
I would paint these all with black gesso. I'm not going to do it now because I haven't got any of it out because I thought I'd pre-organise myself pretty good. But I would paint things like this with black gesso, and I would poke those back into the frame. All right. I won't, as I said, I won't do it now, but that's what I would do, and what's what I did with those. Because I had some smaller leaves, and I painted them black, and then I just glued them in. Right. So you can do that. You can glue them under. You can glue them over. So just so you know, it's just as simple as applying whatever you want onto your piece. And the more you want it flat, the less you do, of course. All right. So we'll put that aside. Now, just so you can see how these work on the different colours, I'll use the same colours as on each one. So I had the colours chosen, which I want to get a gold in there as well. So I'm going to use, let me see, where am I going to use? The yellow, and I think we'll go the teal pink, violet green. All right, so I'm using the violet green, I'm using the green gold, and I'm using the yellow blue. Now, these are $10 a pot. They are on my website, and while I talk about my website, it is up and running, but it has not got everything on there. I'm very slowly getting it sorted, and each day I endeavour to put a few things up. It might be only 5 things, it might be 10 things, but I'm slowly getting there. It's just something that's going to have to be built around what I'm doing. As I said, I wear many hats, and so I have to slot everything in. So my website is www.hillbillyscrappin.com. So if you want to hop in there and have a look, message me if you can't find anything. I do have lots of things in the shop. Now back to this. So we're going to use the same 3 colours, and I'm going to paint it on black. Then I'm going to paint it on the white, so you can actually see the difference. So I'll just something when you're using these paints, it's best to just little, depending on the look that you want. I'm just going to put a little bit. And I just put this together today, but you could, if you wanted to, you could be using your stencils and texture paste and putting all sorts of things on this other black side. I just wanted you to have a look at how these go. Now, when I'm using these paints, I don't swap over colours. I just get a wipe. Now I'm using the green. No, I don't want to use the green gold yet. Go back, Jen. I'm going to use the violet green. So on this one, so now you can see those beautiful violet.
That's really lovely, Jen. Can you bring it a little bit closer to you so we can see the pots,
sorry,
please?
I can just hear. What did you say there, Michelle? Sorry.
Bring it closer to you so we can see the coloured pots. That's it, yes. Closer to your body.
Yep. All right. So I'll go back to my... So is that a little bit better?
Little bit closer to you. That's it.
It's hard to work when you know that you're not sort of you can't hear. Find it. This is my, I have to tell you, this is the first time I've done one live on video. So it's a bit of experience having to do this and talk to myself. Mel said to just pretend that she's in front of me. And she's probably saying, say this, Jen, say that. But I'm not.
Yep. Well, Jen, we can hear you fine. So hopefully you're just going okay.
I know you said something then, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Now, if you think that you've overdone anything, you can go back. This is not quite. I think it's not quite dry. I just decided to do this because I felt that, and I think my gesso hasn't dried as well, so it's and what I tend to do is I tend to play a fair bit when I'm doing this. But you get those different colours coming up there. This is nowhere, I would just keep working away, but I'm not, because I'm conscious of time. And I just want you to get how the colours go on the different whites and the different blacks. We'll change for the white. So on the white, I'm going to go. Now, can you see that, Michelle?
Yes, we can.
So on the white, I'm back using the yellow blue, which is the blue here. So this is the yellow on the white. So I'm using the violet green now, just going in there. So you get this beautiful, actually you haven't, this is a beautiful colour, the violet. The green is actually gorgeous. I don't know if that's coming up with the camera.
Yes, we can see that.
I'm hoping my so I'm just going to go in there, as I said, pick up some yellow again. And you can blend these. It's probably a good idea to try and dry it in between a little bit. Now all this has been sealed with white gesso too, so I sealed it so the paint wouldn't soak in. So I use a lot of when I'm doing these things. Now I'm going in with the green gold, which I better. So this is I'm just gonna touch up there because I've got two greens on here. Just so you can get a look at that. So that's just to give you an idea of the same colours used on white. So you can see they're much darker, much lighter, nice, beautiful pastel colours. I probably shouldn't have picked two greens in that. But anyway, we did, so we can't change that now. So now this will be dry enough for us to use. So we're going back, and I'm going to go back in now, and I'm just going to show you, hopefully I can re-show you how I came up with all these colours in here. Unfortunately, though, because I've got to do it, I haven't got my leaves. But anyway, we'll get the butterfly done. Has anyone got any questions for me, Michelle?
No questions now.
So I'm going to just do the violet. So again, I'm just going to because I want to try and give my butterfly a two-tone effect, I'm just going to go in quite a bit too much. I'm used to having a bit of a glass mat here, and I usually work off quite a bit, so I'm not used to. So I'm going to go with my purple. So you can see I've now you can see how I'm just blending some of that blue through. So less is more when you're doing. So now I'm just going to pick up over that and blend those colours a bit. As now I'm going to go quite so all the colours that I'm using, they're all on the website. So great to go over your chipboard. Just adds that something a little bit different, gives that little bit of a wow factor to our pages. I am a big lover of chipboard, and I love using different mediums on the chipboard on my layouts. I'm just going to go in there. I've probably gone a bit overboard. You sort of feel when you're on camera you've got to get it right the first time, whereas I would be fiddling and fiddling and fiddling. Nothing comes absolutely natural. I have to fiddle. I'm going back in to pick up a bit of purple. It's a pain that I didn't do those leaves because I can't get that colour. I might try down here. I might, because I didn't do that, I might try and pick something up down here and do it in that bit of a variegated. So in the other one, I did use that pink, I just realised. So I might just pick up, it doesn't matter. Now, if you make a mistake in this, so it doesn't really matter if I should have made it a bit more pinker for you guys, just to show you how I picked up the pink. But if you get something wrong with this and you're not happy, all you need to do is re-go over it with some black gesso. If you're not happy with some parts, go back over with black gesso, let it dry, and have it and go in again. You don't. It's great for that. You know, you don't have to. You don't like it, you can go in and change. So this is. I'm going to pick up some of that pink in here. And I'm going to blend some of that blue away. Get that purple happening. Now with these paints too, it's very important that you, all mine have still got their silver lids. Make sure that when you pack them up and put them away, that you've got your lids on nice and tight. And these paints do last well. There are lots of products out there that, they seem to only have a span. If you're not using them all the time, they will dry out. But these are lasting very well. So look after them, put your lids back on, and you should have them. So that's got rid of that bit of blue, and we've gone back to that pink. So it's amazing the colours that you get out of these. They're beautiful. All right, now I'm just going to go into something that's green on the black. So I'm going to use teal pink. So this should, on the bit of black down here, it should come out that turquoisey tealy colour. It does. So hopefully you guys can see, because I haven't got a leaf to show you, so I'm just going to go in. And you can see too, because I've put that piece underneath, you actually, it's all stuck together now, so you can actually handle it, and it can go on as one piece. So you can do mixed media on your for your pages, build them up more or less, whatever you want. Right, I'm just going to go in with a bit more blue up here. They're just beautiful. I don't know, can you see that, Michelle? I just love the colours of these. They're so gorgeous.
Yes, we can see
Just
them.
Beautiful. Sorry.
We can see them.
Oh, beautiful. This one's a little bit thinner than what it would normally be. Once you've painted over it, if I wanted to get that deeper blue now, I would need to go back in with my gesso. Because I've let it dry, I can't bring back the blue. It's going to go paler, because the paler the colour, the paler that you're going to come on now. You've got to go back to your black to get those deeper colours back in. So I don't really want to touch that up. If I was here on my own, just mucking around, I would go back in and do a bit of black on some of those colours and let it dry, and then go back in with some more. I might do some more purple like I've done down here. I might put some more steel. I might put a bit of gold on now just to show you. This is what I'll do. But I could sit and fiddle and fiddle and fiddle, is what I normally do. I'm not one of these people can they go bang, bang, bang and it's all done. I have to leave it, come back, leave it and come back. I never just do it all in the one hit like I'm doing now, because it doesn't work for me. That's not how I work. But hopefully I've been able to show you how to use these beautiful Art Alchemy paints by Finnabar, which is Prima. So, yeah, I think that is me done, Michelle. Now, if you were going to stick this on your page, you would cut out the paint that you want on the back, and you would stick that on your page. As you can see, you would make it. And you need to let it dry a little bit now, because it's gone a little bit soft. So that's what you can produce with the Opal Magics. Michelle, over to you.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to turn your camera back around, and we will see if we can chat again. What we might do is just pause, and we will see if we can get Jen back on. Okay, we've now got Jen back and she can hear us, so that is really good news. Perhaps, Jen, can you just put the phone down a bit? We can only just see the top of your head. There we go. Now we can see you and you can hear me, so that is good.
It is wonderful. So okay, I hope you
So sorry for all the technical difficulties. So the question that we had was about the waxes, and Mel answered that saying, yes, you can use wax with those paints.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is good. And they were fantastic colours. So I like how you really built up those layers, and I think it really shows that, like you said, you don't have to get it perfect. Bam, there you go. You can just slowly build up those different textures.
It is. And when you're doing something like that, you've got to let the colours take hold, if you know what I mean, and go back and do some blending. And if you don't like something, go back over with your black gesso and paint it out, and then go back over with your colour again. So you can keep building. And I'm just really sorry that I had everything prepared, as you can see. I hadn't done my leaves. I couldn't believe it when I looked down and went, uh-oh, I haven't got my leaves. But the most important thing is that a lot of this is just bits and pieces I had in drawers. So use what you have, all your old bits of flowers that you've got left over, leaves and things, just plonk them on. And by having that little tab that you can build up, it just makes it easy.
Yeah. No, we've got a lot of people saying you've really inspired them to go and get their chipboards out and use the paints on the chipboards with gesso. So that's a really great tip.
Really good. That is great. Yes.
That is.
Very
now, I understand you've got a retreat coming up soon. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, we have as most people that know me, we run a retreat at Moama. We run 3 or 4 a year, and of course, with everything going on, we couldn't do our May one. So we had to come up with another idea, and I decided after, with Mel, I guess, doing a couple of videos, I just decided, well, I could do a virtual one. I'd been and seen it. There was lots of people doing Facebook things, and I thought, well, we'll do a virtual one. And I really didn't know how it was going to take off, but my ladies have been absolutely wonderful. They've all come on board, and we've got some new ones that have joined in that are doing it. So it's like, instead of going to the retreat, they'll all stay home. I sent out, a class is always included. So last week I posted out all their classes, their gift, their lucky draw ticket. So all that was gone out. And what we've done is a bit of a treat, and we know that there's lots of Australian companies out there that are really doing it hard. So what I've done is brought in some of our Australian companies like Bearty. Paige is going to be doing a couple of spots, and Sue Smythe, who does a lot of designing for Paige, is going to be doing a demo or two. Michelle Grant, who also designs for Bearty, is doing a few things. And we've got Couture Creations. In fact, I really don't know of another distributor that's out there that's an Australian distributor that's really, I know there's Uniquely in that, but that are really across the board, that sells all those things that we really need as a retailer. And so they're doing a couple of live demos and things. And we're just highlighting that there's, and hopefully they're going to highlight, it has been difficult for them. And this is... for them to survive, they need Australian people to support them, and now more than ever to support them. So I just want to highlight our Australian companies and get behind them. So that's the reason why we're having those come on board as well. It was an ideal opportunity, and I think like Bearty do their own papers, and it's nice to know a little bit of the technique and what goes into being able to do that.
Yeah, excellent. And like you said, it's so good to be able to support our Australian wholesalers and manufacturers as well as our retailers.
Exactly. And I really want to I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody, yourself included, Michelle. You've gone out of your comfort zone to try and keep us retailers going, and you're doing a fantastic job, because it's hard for you as well. And I want to thank all our clients, because they have been behind us, and they've been just so supportive. So I just thank everybody for hanging in there, hanging in with us, and giving us these opportunities. And, it makes you more that you get the courage to say, well, I can do this. I can go on and create this and do it online and that. So I thank everybody. Be a bit understanding, because it's a bit different having a shop and a website, and I've had to get used to, I sold that in the shop. I've got to alter that on the website. And all of a sudden, something sold out and they've ordered it. So bear with me, everybody. It's a big learning process. So, but Michelle, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you do.
Excellent. Thanks, Jen. And so where can people go to find out more about Hillbilly Scrapping and your retreats?
Well, you can find us on Facebook, always on Facebook, although it does go dull. As I said, I wear many hats. So if I'm not putting stuff up, you know that I'm actually doing something else, or I'm busy designing, busy being a grandma, busy being, helping my husband with his business. So it's all, everything has to fit in. You can find us on our website now, which is hillbillyscrappin.com. You can find us give me a call if you need to. That's all on the web, on the Facebook page. So and I do have a shop in Swan Hill, and you can come. It is by appointment. So all you need to do, and what I mean by that is that you can just ring me. I do have other things. So what I say is, instead of getting disappointed coming and finding I'm not home, just ring. And if I'm home, I'm open. So I'm home most of the time. So, it's just that I'd hate you to get out here and go, oh, she's not here. Just ring, because if I'm home, weekend, whatever, if I'm home, I'm open.
The store's open.
That's how I work.
Excellent. Well, Jen, thank you so much for coming and being part of P2PCraft Presents.
Thank you for having us, Michelle.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for coming and watching Jen at Hillbilly Scrapping. And like you said, all the details are over at their website, hillbillyscrapping.com. And if you have any questions, like we said, please continue to support our small retailers. Give us a call. Like Jen said, none of us are going anywhere, and we're all very close to our home shops and our retail stores at the moment. So thank you again for joining us. You can see all the replays and get all the links over at our website, from picture to page and beyond.com.au. And we hope you have a crafty day.